Thank you. It's March 25th. Need an approval of the January 28th meeting minutes. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve those, or anyone have any questions or further conversation?
No questions or further conversation. I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January.
I'll second.
Perfect. Kathy with a motion, Tyler with a second. Since we're online, we're all in favor assumed. Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Thank you. Next bullet point, appreciation. Does anybody have anything for the group today? Jennifer with a hand raise.
I'd just like to recognize Ronnie and her team for bringing some NENA classes to the middle of Colorado, and also Westminster is bringing some classes as well. And Adams County 911 volunteered to host the second beta of the Next Gen 911 class. So we've got some real motivation and movement in bringing NENA classes to Colorado. So great job, everybody.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Does anybody have anything else for the group?
This is Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, good morning. I would just like to shout out Daryl. He's done a lot of work on the app. I know, Daryl, I just got back to your email, but I looked over everything. He's definitely made some progress and is moving things forward on making the app far more valuable for our membership.
Great. I have just a quick one. I want to thank Jennifer for having my back. I've been extremely busy, both personally with some family stuff as well as work stuff. And Jennifer has kept the train on the tracks, and she's kept me informed of things and has checked in on me. So I just want to thank Jennifer for taking care of me. So appreciate that, Jennifer.
Happy to help.
All right. We'll move on next to Jody. I believe this will be your last treasurer's report.
Ooh, is it? That's exciting. Actually, I think I do have to kind of give one at the meeting. So, hold on. I don't know why the react button keeps showing up. So everybody just stand by. Anybody have any ideas?
Constantly clapping, apparently.
Do what?
It just wants you to be constantly clapping.
I know. I just wants to clap. Okay, so let me see where we're at here, guys. Currently we are sitting at, hold on one second. Despite my door being shut, someone just continued to walk in. So we are at $11,384 in the checking account. And that change from the last month is just due to conference items that we've ordered, name badges, ribbons, just various items like that for conference. The APCO deposit for March was $1,158 to kind of offset a little bit that, plus a payment to the credit card for BDO. And sorry, I was trying to get into the credit card. My internet's running really slow today. The mailbox, there was a bunch of bills that just came due after the first of the year. And then over in our savings account, we have $106,443.61. We have paid Ricardo for the pre-con class, so that's taken care of. I still have a $900 check I need to send over to Vinny Montaz. And then there is not a bill for the keynote speaker, right? We just have to pay for his hotel and stuff.
Yeah, he'll send us receipts for his travel expenses, and that's all he's charging us.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, then I think we're good with that. So mostly what we have coming up is just conference expenses, which we will hopefully reimburse once the conference is over. Any questions?
All right, not hearing any questions for Jody. Thank you very much for the update on that. Committee chair reports, finance, Kathy.
I don't really have anything to update, other than Jody, I'm sorry, I didn't get over to the mailbox over the weekend. I plan on stopping there on the way home today. Just to see if we have received any checks for the conference from any of the vendors, and I will let you know. That is all I have for finance committee.
Thank you, Kathy. Conference committee, Jennifer.
Okay, so just to kind of keep everybody updated on the highlights, the conference is selling well. We have, hold on, let me get into my Eventbrite. But we have about 92 full registrations. We have 42, hold on, I think that's right. 42 registered for pre-con. Yep. We have 10 day passes sold over the 2 different days, 1 guest pass, and we have 14 of our speakers registered so far. So this is my reminder that if you're planning to go to conference and you're not registered yet, you should probably register. And all the board members need to register as well, since the only free conference registrations are for speakers. The exhibits are selling really well. We have almost sold out of bronze sponsorships. There's only 1 left. And then we have we have 2 gold and 1 paid platinum sponsor and 3 silver sponsors. So we're doing very well in sponsorships, and we have 30 of, I believe, 40 booths spoken for. That includes the free one that we're giving to the canine group. And then so that's going really well. Sorry about that. Forgot to silence the phone. What else? Oh, Jennifer's been working on a silent disco. So we're gonna add, and you guys were very enthusiastic in the emails. And so we're gonna add that to Monday night, and that will be free for all the attendees, whether they do the pre-conference or the regular conference. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think Jennifer's working on a sponsor for that as well, but I think we'll be okay even without a sponsor if we don't get one. I'm working with the hotel right now to finalize details about classrooms, et cetera, et cetera. We're gonna need 1 more projector for Wednesday, but I've got that covered. So we will have 5 projectors total, the 4 that we already have in the storage facility and the 1 that I'll bring. We have our next conference planning meeting this afternoon, and we'll be finalizing volunteer assignments and et cetera, et cetera. But on the whole, I think everything's going really well. I'm going to ask the hotel for an update on hotel rooms today, but just based on what I've seen so far, I think we're going to meet our hotel room requirement, and then we'll be finalizing food and beverage in the next couple of weeks. So I want to thank the conference committee because they've been doing a lot of work. We've been doing a lot of promo and work on the app. Thank you, Daryl and Gina and Michael Berry. And does anybody have any questions?
Now, Jennifer, I've gotten quite a few emails from different vendors and stuff wanting to sponsor that I've put them in contact with Jennifer. So I've seen quite a few messages coming up.
Oh, that is great.
Instead of us reaching out, people are reaching out to us. So that's been awesome.
That is fabulous news. And I'm going to send you an email as you're preparing your host speeches and all your MC stuff. We have a ton, like all those silver and gold and platinum sponsors need to be recognized at some of the formal events. So I'll just make sure you've got that full list.
Perfect. Yep, that'll be good. Jennifer has conned me into emceeing everything. She knows my love of different public speaking, so we're gonna go for it. So when I fall flat on my face, I expect a giggle. But no, I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna do a great job. And just to be clear, I asked you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yes, I asked and you accepted.
No, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm glad to hear the updates that we're looking to meet all our marks. I know that can be scary sometimes, and especially different budgets. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that this year versus previous years. So Good. Anything else, Jennifer?
No, unless people have questions, and you guys are welcome to come to the planning meetings if you like.
Can I confirm what time that meeting is? And then also, before I forget, for the sake of help in prepping for the pre-con and conference, I'm assuming if we come over on Sunday, that's early enough?
Yes, and we're gonna be talking about that schedule today. So, and the meeting's at 3:30, and I'm gonna put the invite information into chat right now.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Any questions for Jennifer? Any other questions? All right. Going down the list and seeing who's on the call. Next, I'd have I see Daryl. You got anything from technology?
Well, we are on the Zoom call now, so thank you to Jody for helping me get this set up and getting it paid for. So we will be using this going forward, which will help us with recording, and which also means that I'll be able to post videos of the meetings onto the chapter's YouTube page following each meeting. In other news, you also heard from Gina that, so first of all, I reached out to OCV with the changes that we had talked about as a board. When they saw the list of changes, they asked for a meeting. So I met with Story, and he talked about some other ideas that we could implement to make it just a little bit better. So I approved that, and so they're working on those changes right now, and hopefully I'll have some good news on when we can expect to see the changes in the app. But I've also, in the meantime, I've also been keeping up to date all of the sponsor and exhibitor information in the app that's also going on the webpage. And I think that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Daryl? Thank you for keeping us up to date on that. Next, Kathy, bylaws.
Okay, so Jennifer, you'll have to remind me, did we send those out yet or not?
Yeah, Ronnie sent out an email, and it
That's
looks like,
right.
according to the agenda, there's one scheduled to go out in May.
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, and then we're gonna vote on it at the conference. So the updates have been sent out, and it looks like they're gonna go out again, and then we will vote on them at the conference in May. So that's where we are with the bylaws right now.
And can I just add something for transparency's sake?
Sure.
So we pointed everybody to the folder on our website in that email. And when I happened to get in there to look at bylaws and see what the changes were, I realized that the PDFs that we put in the proposed new did not capture the red lines. And so it was just the old ones in the new folder. So I fixed that, and it is now the new proposed versions in the new proposed folder, but I don't think anybody noticed. So just letting you guys know that that was up for a little while and has been fixed.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's all I have, Chris.
Thanks, Kathy. Looking through, don't see anyone else on the call for any of the committee chair reports. Does anybody have anything to add from any of, I guess, the committee chair stuff before we move on? All right, next I got Jennifer, PUC updates.
So the main thing that's going on at the PUC right now, besides our regular task force and ESNet users group meetings, which I highly recommend you attend because there's a lot of conversation going on, is the pre-rulemaking workshops that we are currently conducting, discussing the rules about optional tariff services and how they may or may not be reimbursed. So the next one of those is actually in about an hour and a half at 11 o'clock today. And I encourage everyone to join the conversation. We are kind of wordsmithing possible draft rules to address that. And otherwise, there's not a whole lot, I hesitate to say this, but there's not a whole lot of action going on outside of what's going on at the ESNet users group and the task force.
I just knocked on wood for you, Jennifer.
I know, thanks. My table here is metal, so I don't have any.
All right. Jackie, you got anything in the national news?
Hi, just a couple things that were brought up. We just had our first post board meeting 2 weeks ago. I guess there was one of the chapters in the Eastern region had brought up that they've noticed that AI is popping into their meetings, whether it be a chapter meeting, their regional meetings, anything, but it's just like an AI that's popping up and recording the meetings and then sends out like a snapshot afterwards so people aren't having to take notes during it. And they're just trying to feel how everybody kind of feels about that. Are we wanting AI? Do we support AI? It was kind of they just kind of started. I don't know if anybody's noticed it on their other work meetings that AI will just pop into meetings and record on their own. But some people were wondering if that's breaking any policies, bylaws, or anything like that, but we don't necessarily have anything on AI. So if anybody has any thoughts specifically around AI and joining our meetings, let me know and I can pass that on. The other thing that they had brought up, they started the school like professor membership when Angela Beatty was president, and they're looking at doing something similar to that but more towards the retirement community. But they're trying to figure out a definition for what is retired. Is retired you don't work for an agency anymore but you can still work for a subcontractor, or you do freelance work, or is retired you can work part-time still. We're just trying to figure out a good definition of how somebody that's retired could get maybe a discounted membership, not be a full member. But what does the definition look like for retirement? So if anybody has any ideas on that now, or feel free to email it to me and I can bring it up, because we were trying to brainstorm what retirement looks like, whether that's full or part-time or completely retired.
Well, Jackie, I would like to retire today, but
Amen.
I have had the AI stuff in meetings you've mentioned, and then automatically get an email of like notes and put together. And I think depending on what type of your meeting you're on, I think it's great. If you have to go reference things versus either having to go back and listen to a recording or watch a video. So I think it just depends on what type of meeting you're holding, if you know what you want. I don't think it's really recording anything different than, recording a meeting.
Right.
But I don't know if that's something we would want to explore. That's obviously going to be something external that's paid for, and you essentially send a meeting invite to it.
Yeah.
And it joins. So
Yeah.
see a
I know
hand.
there was a couple people that had never seen it before and they were like, what is this? Why is it joining our meeting? And they thought that it was like somebody listening in on the conversation, not necessarily that it was like the computer bot. So
Sure.
I think just trying to figure out what that looks like in the future with using that.
Yeah. Jody?
I don't have a problem with people using it when they're in the meeting. I use it in some of our board meetings too, because the transcript really helps with the meeting minutes. My biggest piece that we're trying to figure out, and particularly around our board meetings, is people who are not in the meeting, whose read AIs are just joining automatically. And then they're not actually in the meeting. And so I think that is a concern, that if you're not participating in the meeting, but your AI is, it's where's that going? And, how does that work if you weren't really there to participate? And I think that's where we're at, is not so much people using it when they're there, but people who are just got it set to turn on to every meeting they can't make it to. And then sometimes I don't know how that affects attendance too, but sometimes if there's an AI taking attendance, it looks like that person is there.
Fair point. I guess you could always, if they're not in the meeting, you could always kick them out of the meeting, but then that requires someone actually managing it, going through.
Yeah,
valid
I think that the piece to that is do you need to make a blanket thing that says, hey, if your AI shows up in this meeting and you're not in it, we're gonna kick it out. Otherwise, they're like, well, why I don't have the minutes, and what happened, so It's gonna be a thing for, I think, a lot of people, especially governments who have to manage open meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, fair. Jennifer.
Thanks. I was also going to say the same thing and kind of put in that I know there are other organizations that are putting in some policies around this. I know NENA is putting in a policy in place around AI attending meetings. So I'm sure there are some examples of those kinds of policies out there that you could probably bring to the conversation, Jackie. Yeah, I think sending your AI and you're not actually in the meeting is much different than using AI to put over the top of a meeting and build a transcript of something you're actually participating in. And I don't think we need to make this decision today, but I think it's probably something that we should look into adopting a policy for the chapter as well. Not that we discussed like super secret important things here, but it's probably a good idea to have a policy going forward.
Yeah, get ahead of it. Have it in play when Skynet takes over.
Well, you just never know.
You never know. And Daryl. Oh, Daryl, did you have your hand up?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I just wanted to point out, maybe it would make sense if there is a policy that it distinguish between meetings that are being recorded and meetings that are not being recorded, because if we're recording this meeting, for instance, this one right now, and we're putting it on YouTube, they could download that and run that through an AI to create a transcript without actually being in the meeting. So I don't know that it makes as much of a difference if it's already being recorded and put on YouTube for public access. Any other meeting that's not being recorded and they add an AI to it, it's essentially they're recording it on their own, which we may or may not want.
Yeah, it's fair. I think, it's, anybody can record a meeting and not know, right? I could just do a screen grab and record it. I mean, I don't know. But if someone's actually added the meeting and the AI bot's taking it, I mean, no, I think it's some good stuff to talk about. I think we're gonna see that move forward, not just in a chapter meeting like this, but different meetings. Like I said, I was on a meeting yesterday that had one, and it took me half a second to realize I was the AI bot. I wasn't talking to myself. So, all right. Anybody else? Anything on the AI meeting topics? Next, for new business. Does anyone in this group have any new business to discuss today? All right. Next is old business elections. Tyler, do you want to give us a kind of a recap of the emails that have been recent?
Yeah, so I sent out an email we sent out for the elections. We had some interest on some positions and then some interest on or no interest on other positions. And then the positions that we had interest in, there was only one candidate that showed interest in each respective position. So through conversation with the board, we've elected to forego the formal election process, and the folks that put in for each individual position was notified that they were elected to those respective positions. Jody, big shout out to Jody. Jody came in on the 12th hour and has agreed to fill the role of second VP. So she will be filling that role. Kathy Rayleigh is retiring, I guess, if you will, from Eastern Regional Director, but will be assuming the treasurer position. And then we have Jackie, who is willing to re-up for her executive council. So she's re-up for that. And then for the Western Regional Director. Sorry, I can't talk. It is Brittany. I'm gonna Mancini. I probably destroyed that. But she is will be the new Western Director. one of the Western directors as well. And then the Eastern director position is still vacant and open. So I don't know what the board would like to do about that, if we want to put it back out that we still have an open position, or if we want to announce that maybe at the conference. I'll kind of lean on you guys to make a decision one way or the other on how you like to proceed with that. That's all of the candidates have been notified, and all of them have acknowledged their emails. So we should be in a good place. They've all been notified that they'll take the oath of office at the conference in May. Happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Tyler. I think definitely we should talk about it at the conference. Jennifer, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank Tyler and the conference or the elections committee for running that process. And I wondered if the board wanted to be formal about it and make a motion to officially close that election process and declare those candidates in their roles. And then does Ronnie want to send out an official notification to the membership?
I think we should definitely send out something to the membership. I don't know the legalities of having to close it, but we can if you think we need to.
I don't know if we do need to or not. I just wanted to, and maybe the recording in this meeting is like memorializing our email conversation is enough.
Jennifer, do you want me to make like a formal motion that we've decided to forego the election?
Yeah, Tyler, why don't we do it? Why don't you just make a motion for
Okay.
we forego the election, read the names off who they are, and then we can.
So I'll make a motion to forego the election. And with that, the following individuals will be assuming the roles and effective the May conference. So Kathy Rayleigh will be the treasurer. Jody Chin will be the second vice president. Jackie Romero will be the executive counsel. The Eastern Regional Director position will remain open, and then the Western Regional position will be Brittany Mancini.
I'll
right.
second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We're online, assuming all in favor. Anyone on the call opposed? All right, hearing none, motion passes. We're foregoing the election, and those folks will be sworn in at our conference. Great.
Congratulations, everybody.
All
I get to
right.
officially retire now, right?
In May.
Okay,
Thank you for your service, Tyler.
no worries. I'm glad we could save the chapter some money too. That was good.
And just for the record, that is pronounced Mancini when you go to swear her in.
Okay, I knew I was destroying it, so my fault. Sorry, I apologize.
That's okay. The national board members will be doing the swearing in, so I'll make sure to give them some phonetics.
Thank you for your service, Director March. We appreciate it. We can't wait for your retirement in May. Anyone have anything for the good of the order?
I do. I actually had my hand up, but I'll.
Oh, sorry, Kathy. Go ahead.
That's okay. It's just like a little informational thing. So I don't know who's all going to NENA in Long Beach this year, but if you haven't registered or put in for your housing yet, there have been some issues, and I believe they're all on the NENA side. So just to give you an idea, when I registered for my the full registration, and then I added something else. So my total should have been $775 or whatever. And when it got down to the bottom, it says you have a complimentary full registration. And I thought, okay, I don't think that's right, but I'll pay for what I pay and then I'll see what happens. So sure enough, the next day I get an invoice from NENA saying, hey, you didn't pay for your registration. So I emailed them and said, I tried to pay for it, what's going on? So apparently they're having some issues with a voucher or coupon or something automatically being applied to the conference. So if that happens to you, just FYI, they're not giving away free conferences. Then the other problem that we saw, I didn't see it, but one of the managers for one of the centers that are in the authority was registering her folks, and the last 2 nights in the hotel are showing a non-conference rate, which is $200 more a night. So I have reached out to Anna Marie at NENA saying, what's going on? Why are we out of rooms? And so I'm waiting for her to get back to me because the rooms I think are $299 a night, and the last 2 now are showing like almost $500, 490 something a night. So just FYI that's what's going on right now. It's got to be all on the NENA side, but just didn't want anybody to be shocked if you went to register and had some of these issues.
Yeah, and Kathy, when I registered, they, for some reason, they charged my credit card 3 times, even though I got an error message. And I had to reach out to Lisa Fulton with NENA, and they were able to get it quickly reversed, but now I've got these charges coming in and out on my credit card, and it sounded like they put it up and then the sites just went wonk. So
Yeah,
if you guys are doing that, just be aware that it's got some weird stuff going on.
yeah. And the other thing that happened, one of the managers was trying to register one of her employees, and it was trying to give her the non-member rate, even though she's a member. And so when she reached out with that, they responded, they said, hey, have her check. There's a link in her email that she'll be able to register. And of course, when that employee went in and opened her email, there was no link. So I was copied on that email, and the link did come back today, but it just sounds like they're having a lot of problems for one reason or another.
Thank you, Kathy. Watch your P cards.
Yeah.
If you have any problems, Kathy's Authority P card is open for business.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. You got 2 hands up there, Chris. I
yeah.
don't know if you can
Ronnie?
see it. Okay.
Yeah, I see him now. Thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure that on the January minutes, it did say that this meeting we'd be talking about what Jody found out audit wise of who's going to be doing an audit this year.
That would be great if I had actually remembered to do that. So, I have no updates. Let me reach out to BDO and see, we just need to get hey Kathy, we're gonna need to get an audit.
Yeah. I can reach out to them too if you want.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll
Kathy
put that.
and I will
Yeah.
work through it, and we will remember together that we need to get that audit taken care of.
And we'll have that information by the May meeting. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ronnie, for
Thank you.
reminding us what we need to do.
There's probably times I'm the one that actually kind of sifts through those minutes a lot. So just wanted to make sure it was caught.
Thank you again.
Jennifer.
I just kind of wanted to call out the Next Gen 911 class that's happening in Adams County on April 23rd and 24th. This is a brand new class that NENA put together, and it really covers everything you need to know about Next Gen 911 and how it's going to affect your PSAP. This is what NENA calls a beta class, which means that it's the second time it's been taught. The first time was before 911 goes to Washington, and we got a ton of great feedback, so this will be the second time. But we need 18 students to run it, and we have 5. So if you can make the time, I highly recommend you go. One, it'll be great to get the information. I mean, this class, I kind of helped put it together, but I learned so much as part of the process as well. So all of you as leaders of your agencies, I think it will benefit you greatly to go. So I put the registration link in the chat. And I know Ronnie's got some classes coming up from NENA as well, which are also going to be on that same link. So clear your calendar and go if you can. You won't regret it.
Jennifer, on that was perfect. Thank you for mentioning that, because it reminded me of an email from yesterday. Can someone just make sure I'm straight? when we post on NENA and APCO, we can advertise classes saying, hey, come join us. We just can't advertise that we're hiring. Is that correct?
You mean on our social?
No, like in the like APCO PS Connect and the NENA side. Forgot what that's called. We can blast that out to everyone, right?
Yeah, if you're hosting NENA or APCO classes, then it's absolutely appropriate to put it out on the PS Connect and the NENA. However, if you advertise a NENA class on PS Connect, they're probably going to take it down. And if you're advertising an APCO class on the NENA channel, then they might not approve it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Perfect. All right. Anybody have anything else today? All right. Our next meeting will be in person at the conference. I'm looking forward to that. And sorry, our lights have been flickering in our building. They just flickered again, threw me off. So I will take a motion to adjourn this meeting. Would anyone like to make that motion?
Sure, this is Kathy, so moved.
Kathy with a motion. Anyone for a second?
I'll second.
Gina,
I got Gina. All right, we're online. All in favor, assumed. Anyone opposed? Hearing none. Thank you everyone for being here. I know we'll chat kind of in between on emails, but we will see you all in person in May. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Great job,
everybody.
Bye, guys.